We're going to look for what is good to start making the plank. From here, every 65 centimeters, there is one of the logs in order to be able to take the plank out. The tooth system of the American miter saw allows the sawdust to be expelled as the cutting progresses. This system is to make the cut more fluid and do not tighten the miter saw. Now we start with the cracking of the wood that he himself is showing us where we have to start. Anything we do outside of this would be spoiling material. We are now starting to crack this. That's enough. Now we're going to make the distribution of the wood so that the planks are all of the same size. Now he's looking for his measure, because not all hands are the same. He's already looking for his measure. He knows that from here he will get from this part 8 planks. Now Bernardo puts his finger, as it is seen, just a little in the direction of where the lines that go from the outside to the center mark. Now we remove the heart, everything that is not usable for the planks. Now let's look for the middle in the pieces of 4 planks. Again in half, because there are 2 planks on each side of the axe. We are looking for those that could be the medium ones. Now comes the removal of the crust. It is a way to know if the wood is in optimum condition. For the planks to withstand the inclemency of weather and do not allow rainwater to pass through once placed on the roof, it is important that the cut continues the sense of the veins. Now we're going to make the dowel to hold the shingle on the roof. This, what we do is to nail it here, in a previous hole to a suitable size. This is the result. But what we have to do is to remove this. This is the correct position. To cover the roof of the Virgin de las Nieves Hermitage, about 7,000 planks will be needed. The planks, perfectly stacked, will be kept in the outside for a whole year, until the time of the restoration of the roof of the Virgin de las Nieves Hermitage arrives. The humidity of the autumn rains, plus the weight of the heavy layers of snow that may fall during the winter, will make it easier for the planks to take a perfectly flat shape. It's time to put in the new beech pieces in substitution of the oak ones, already worn by the passage of time. Here we can see the difference in the planks that have been in place for 40-odd years, covering the Hermitage. Also, these are oak, not beech. These, as you can see, are rotten almost to the core. That's because they have been too attached. Many of these were twisted and based on being in this pile with a weight on top of it. As it was seen before, they have matured and the planks have been greatly improved. Martin is in charge of fixing the edges of the planks to prevent leaving out cracks between them at the time of putting them on the roof. Some holes are made here with some marks on purpose so that they all have the same distance. There, more or less, the one making the hole has already an idea of more or less where the hole needs to be drilled. Now we take one of the pins and place it in the hole. It should never have this. What we do is to remove it. Depending somewhat on the roof situation or the climate where it is installed, we can have up to 50 or 52 years of life. We start with a narrow plank to take the next one, so it can cover the crack this would leave. Now we come with a wider one, and what it does is to cover the following one. It is very interesting that the thickness of the plank always carry the same direction. As we see here, one side is thicker than the other. If we make this one sideways, we leave more crack, more gap, and more irregularities in the roof. These roofs, while covering moisture, were also thermal. The thickness of the 3 boards is shown here. What this does is an enormous thermicity. The days go by, and the laying of the planks is progressing rapidly. The space left here, this one, is not left to chance, it's simply to aerate the roof. This also serves so that the planks, as they are not completely attached to each other, it does not keep humidity and therefore does not rot. This part is a little more laborious, because by making this in a conical shape, the planks have to be a little elaborated according to the need of the width. The roof of the Hermitage is now completely finished. A craftsmanship work of several months and a lot of effort which has been made possible thanks to the willingness of a group of expert plank makers that tried to keep alive this technique that, in the past, was deeply rooted in the valleys of the Navarrese Pyrenees.